Good evening, Aries. Welcome back to Will's Cartomancy Tarot. What I'd like to do for you this evening, which is as promised, I'd like to do a more elaborate, romantic type specific based reading for you guys to just get you started for this month. This reading is going to be effective until the end of this month. And as always, to save down on some time, I've already shuffled the card, and your layout is displayed as we see here using the Walter Waite Tarot deck. Okay, prior to getting into your reading, let's make a few general observations here. Okay, you have a predominance of major arcana cards here. So Aries, that would suggest to me that your future is to some extent being directed by fate. So therefore, your future is really kind of out of your hands. And, there really is a need or a time for the head and not the heart, and kind of to apply the reality principle in this matter as it relates to your relationship, and to really kind of cut through illusions, red tape, and doubt, and to really focus on whatever must be done. Then, Aries, you should carry the task through single-mindedly without any type of hesitation. Okay, we also have a couple of swords cards here, so there's a potential for stress and conflict too that's also associated in this matter with regards to your romantic situation. So let's go on and see if we can glean out a few more details prior to actually getting into the details of your spread here. Okay, we have the Ten of Pentacles, and if I were to combine that with the Hierophant, that denotes, Aries, that your relationship does certainly have the potential to kind of go the distance. Okay? We also have the Ten of Pentacles and the Lovers. So, Aries, this is really a soulmate type karmically or karmic type relationship that you have. Okay? We also have the Temperance, and we combine that with Lovers. That shows that there are some romantic indecisions on the part of both of you guys. Okay? We also have the Magician, and if we were to combine that with the Hierophant, okay, that denotes, Aries, that there are some codependency issues in this relationship, indicating that there is an overbearing partner. Okay, there appears to be male dominance, it appears, in this relationship, and the individual kind of acts as an authority figure to you, that I'm kind of feeling. Okay, we also have the Seven of Swords, and if I were to combine that with the Magician, that denotes a person who has commitment issues or kind of continues to play the field, as it were. Okay? We also have, once again, the Magician and the Seven of Swords card. And that also, Aries, denotes a Casanova or Jezebel type person. And it appears that the person appears to be a smooth talker, or he or she simply feeds his or her own ego, or kind of tells other people what they want to hear. And if we were to kind of add the Lovers card here, this combination also shows, Aries, infidelity that appears to kind of be existing in this relationship. Or perhaps one of you is dating someone who might be married, or perhaps might be even committed to someone else. Okay? Let's look at a few possible other possible combinations here. We have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Magician card. And that denotes, brisk, nonsense, type of personality or people. Okay? We also have the Ten of Pentacles here, and we were to combine that with Temperance. That denotes, Aries, a place where the healing arts are kind of studied, or a place where perhaps that either you or your lover maybe, perhaps kind of, get solace in doing, and kind of, getting more in tune into your spirituality. We also have, Aries, the Lovers, and if we were to combine that with the Knight of Swords, that certainly denotes a person of the sign of Gemini. Okay? And let's combine the Temperance card with Magician, and that can possibly denote a person involved perhaps in alchemy or alchemy itself. Okay? We also have, you have a lot of interesting combinations in your reading. We have Temperance, and if we were to combine that with the Ace of Wands, that denotes, Aries, verbal exchanges with a lover, or it denotes the dialogue process itself. Okay? We also have the Lovers combined with the Hierophant. And that shows, that lovers are going to perhaps join in a union or reconnect or reunite and re-solidify or, make the relationship more stable. And the relationship seem to get approval, So that's what I'm kind of feeling in terms of those little few things that I decided to share with you. We also too have the Lovers card preceding the Magician card, and that shows some hesitation, also Aries, and perhaps starting a new venture that you may want to do. So Aries, all right, let's get right into your reading and start off with your bottom card. We have the High Priestess here. So Aries, the High Priestess, the Moon usually rules Cancer with this card, so it kind of influences the tide. So there's also a hypothesis, Aries, that it kind of affects the flow of energies in women and to a lesser degree with men. The classical goddess Diana, sister of the sun god Apollo, she was worshipped as the moon in all her aspects. So the moon is kind of concerned with instincts, dreams, imagination, the cycles of life, especially for fertility, Aries, but also with illusion, and it's also associated with yin, animal, or the female energies in men and women. Therefore, Aries, this card in its astrological aspects seem to talk about the importance of really rising above any potential conflict or pettiness and kind of listening to your inner voice and really accepting that everything has the right time to happen if one waits. Above all, Aries, it's all about keeping your counsel. Because of its association with sleep, Aries, or dreams and the unconscious, the appearance of this card, it indicates to me a period of protracted anxiety that tends to lead to restless night. Therefore, try confronting and overcoming your apprehension through the use of meditation or perhaps dream therapy. This card is asking you to kind of open up to your dark side, accept your weaknesses and really embrace your imperfections. Because only by bringing your fears into light, Aries, can you really hope to kind of overcome them. So in addition, the challenge, of your current issue, to me, it seems a bit like a refusal to kind of see beyond your current concern. And what is happening now, it's really part of a bigger change that is kind of going on in your life, and it is not really yet over. In fact, Aries, it might just be the beginning. So make like the High Priestess, Aries, and sit above the situation. Okay, you see how she's doing? And rise above it. And this challenge is going to be met, and pull back the curtain and face the day. Therefore, I'm feeling that the flow of the next few months is mysterious and wonderful, Aries. So the High Priestess has a robe, as you see, like a river, okay, which kind of flows as it will, shifting like the light of the moon. So I feel that in the next 28 days, you're going to see how this pattern is going to manifest in your life, taking you, in unexpected direction. So kind of go with the flow. So the past in relation to this issue seems to be the issue that you've been going through with your relationship is really one of silence and secrecy. So there was a lot that was hidden and veiled, it seems, and only recently discovered, So with this moving now into your past, Aries, you now have a chance to kind of retune yourself to all that is kind of now the case and begin to kind of really move on. But Aries, this journey will be more inwardly directed for a while. So do not really expect to kind of make many changes of the outside just yet. I feel that you should just kind of set your sights on really discovering all that is kind of hidden from you and kind of, Aries, trying to connect to your own intuition. Because again, this card is kind of, asking you, or is saying that you are being asked to kind of meet your own need and your own requirements and kind of aim to trust your gut instincts, Aries. Because if you feel kind of off beam or really off course, then this card is kind of telling you to, set your sights again with your own internal compass and kind of keep checking that you are going with the flow and not really fighting against it. And Aries, if it is a struggle, you're not going the right way. The resources, Aries, that you can kind of draw from, kind of include based on this card, the mysterious depth of your very own unconscious mind. Find unexpected help and assistance from strange happenings, weird coincidences, profound synchronicities, and dreams or symbols and visions. Look for the high priestess empowering you to kind of succeed in the most unusual way. So Aries, her message is hidden, yet it is clear. You are kind of being helped in ways that you don't yet see. So, and I feel that those around you kind of see that you have a clearer idea of what is kind of going on than perhaps, yourself think. It might be that Aries, others kind of come to you for advice and you have no idea about the what's and the whys. However, Aries, others can kind of sense that you are kind of truly in touch with yourself in this matter. And it is very important for you to kind of share that intuition. So, Aries, the concerns that you kind of have, which are not actual, are those based on your intuition. And I'm feeling that sometimes your gut feeling can kind of be off center. And this may be a time when the truth of the matter is not what you kind of deeply feel, deep down inside. It is really time for you to really check your facts and kind of make sure you know everything about the situation really before jumping to conclusions. So therefore, Aries, with this card, the overarching message is summarized by the mystery of this card itself, So it is she, Aries, who holds the scroll of the Torah, the law, and her decision is final. So the result is certainly going to be as it should be, with all sides that's going to be balanced and everything taken into account. Even those things hidden, all is going to come in its due time. So in short, Aries, I feel that you are blocking this card by kind of being extroverted and forceful, or perhaps gossiping and telling everybody all your innermost secrets, or kind of being loud or not discreet and kind of, being tackles, and compromising others' privacy by doing this. Okay? Let's move right along and look at the central issue of your relationship to get more in depth with kind of what's really going on here. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords here. So I feel that, someone, of course this card refers to an air sign. It could be an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, but I feel that somebody might be trying to kind of break through your defenses. And this card is kind of telling you, make sure you don't get sidetracked. I also associate this card with Taurus too, because I've seen in many of my readings that this card has represented Taurus. So this card also indicates, a lively situation, particularly if, one is really kind of pursuing another in a romantic situation. So Aries, I'm feeling that while it can be exciting, you are kind of cautious that the chase may be more thrilling than the catch. So it can also indicate, arguments or disagreements ahead. So be sure that you know the lay of the land before being caught up in such discussion. So this card therefore says that you're going to be worried that others or that your lover is really not keeping their or his or her agreements or commitments, or perhaps people around you or even your lover are kind of being unreliable or irresponsible or perhaps inept, and I feel that you're going to trust, then distrust. But Aries, progress is going to continue and your relationship will go on despite the contrary. I see many of you being swept up in a powerful love affair that is going to change your life dramatically. And I see a message or some sort from an admirer, someone that you like and feel comfortable with. It certainly is going to brighten your day. And I see that new information in a personal relationship is going to arrive that is going to change your perspective about that person. And it looks like Aries is a positive change. So this card therefore says, Aries, don't give up. Because you're going to receive an answer or clear-cut direction that's going to solve your problems and kind of get you back on the right track. Okay? Aries, this card also could, kind of, because it's a knight, it also can represent, your thoughts, or it can represent your lover's thoughts. Usually unhappy or usually it can either go both ways, okay? So let's go on and just look at your next card here and see, how you kind of see your lover, okay? Now you see your lover, and it's kind of, coincidental that the lover cards fall here. So as we know, the lover represents Gemini. So although I'm feeling that you're standing at a crossroad, Aries, and kind of feel there might be an intruder in your relationship, you are considering your next steps. Thus, Aries, this card represents a committed decision made freely, I'm feeling, and from the bottom of the heart. So therefore, you kind of see your lover as being full of love and have either decided to kind of be with him or her from the bottom of your heart, or or if you haven't yet, you will soon do so. Okay? Let's move right along and look at, how your lover really sees you. Okay? And the Hierophant falls there in that position. So, Aries, this card represents the search for and defining for meaning, and hence often hints at an experience that kind of makes sense for us, So, moreover, Aries, this card symbolizes righteousness and lofty efforts. So it is often, Aries, I feel, a good sign because it represents ways that kind of prove to be fruitful, for we transverse them with conviction, confidence, and a positive attitude. Therefore, Aries, this card usually represents a religious person or a teacher who kind of possess much wisdom and knowledge, and kind of says, Aries, that your lover sees you as an upright person who is held in high esteem. Your lover has confidence in you, and he or she knows that he or she can really rely on you when time is needed. Okay, let's move right along to your next card and just, look at, unknown influences of your relationship, perhaps, Aries, that you're not aware of. We have the Magician card falling in that position. And Aries, and with this card, Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So Aries, this card in its astrological aspect really warns of less than honorable dealings by others and kind of advises adapting your plans rather than really confronting opponents. And really, Aries, listening closely to or readily or reading carefully any communication. It therefore says, Aries, that a new love or a strengthened old one is going to have some happy surprises in store. Okay? You are really right now are only at the first stage of your development, and you must understand, Aries, your place in this cosmic scheme of things. Because certainly the universe always gives more than you can conceive of or even ask for. But you have to realize all you have to do is ask, and if you ask, more will be received. So the result is certainly up to you and your decision and what you decide, and it depends entirely upon your intentions, Aries, and how much you really want it, because you're going to begin again on a new foot, or you're going to begin with a new partner, okay? So, Aries, let's move right along to the next card and just look at, where you really want this relationship to go, okay? And the card that falls in that position, okay, it's the Moon card, okay? So, Aries, the card that falls in that position is the Seven of Swords card. So, with the Seven of Swords card, Aries, the moon is in Aquarius. So, this 7, Aries, is usually the counterpart of the Magician, and it really illustrates the dubious side of the lucid intellect. It kind of stands for cunning, wild, lies, and deception, Aries. It leaves open, Aries, whether you are the victim or the perpetrator. Altogether, however, Aries, this card kind of runs the gamut of insincerity, from beating around the bush and invading, to little white lies and scam, to real serious deception and betrayal. So Aries, at this moment, there might be a bit of deception surrounding this relationship. Perhaps you are making dishonest plans, or you might be intending to sneak off, or are possibly trying to trick and deceive your love. Or are you actually having an affair? Aries, this card indicates that the object of your affection could turn out to be a dirty, rotten scoundrel, or just someone whose lack of trust makes it difficult, really, to kind of let another get too close. So, Aries, by all means, make some discreet inquiries if you suspect that you are being cheated on or deceived. However, Aries, be prepared to kind of take the flak if your suspicions are discovered and they prove to be groundless. Aries, even if your doubts turn out to be absolutely true, you may not want to believe that you are being fooled. So in any event, you want to kind of move on from secrecy and, deception in this relationship and move on, Aries, to a more harmonious type, relationship without lies. Thus, Aries, this card is kind of saying you want your lover to call or come by, and you really will want the relationship to kind of progress. However, you still may not be willing to put yourself in a compromising position. Okay? Let's move right along, Aries, and see who or what can kind of help you in your relationship situation. And the card that falls in this placement is the Ten of Pentacles. So with the Ten of Pentacles, Aries, Mercury is in Virgo. So this card indicates family or domesticity and a completion. It also kind of indicates external wealth, security, and stability. So Aries, this card therefore says, attend to day-to-day living or household affairs that really need maintenance or attention, and kind of, Aries, try to stick close to those who support you in the way you really want to feel about yourself. Okay, let's move right along, Aries, and look at some challenges that this relationship is you're gonna be facing if you continue to remain in it. The next card is Temperance. So Temperance, Aries, refers to a Sagittarius. So there could be a Sagittarius temperament or a person or a third person that's lurking in this in your relationship that's causing havoc or causing problems. And this card, Aries, is also fairly complex. Above all, Aries, it denotes that, the right measure, the good mixture, and hence an ideal state of peace, harmony, or calmness and health. This card says that old patterns of infidelity, obsession, or addiction may merge when one partner is kind of out of control and unable or really unwilling to compromise. So it says, Aries, that the challenge of your current issue really is to kind of maintain balance at all costs. The figure of the Temperance, it appears to kind of blend. If you look here, the contents here of her chalices with little effort. So you have to kind of keep a light touch and kind of bring things together. You have to kind of do a lot of work keeping the peace without stressing yourself too much, Aries, because it is indeed a challenging time, but you're going to learn much afterwards. Therefore, I'm feeling that the flow of the next few months is one of give and take, Aries. Things are going to come together, but it's going to take time and not happen in one single event. Okay? And you may have to go backwards and forwards, as they say, 2 steps forwards and 1 step back. The card here to me is a good one, as indicated previously, because it means that although your patience may be tested, Aries, you stay the course to the best possible outcome. So Aries, the past in relation to this issue is one where you have had to kind of bring a lot together where you are now. And this may have cost you in terms of stress and personal energy. So perhaps you will be pleased to know that you can kind of take your hands from the controls just now. You did the best you could, Aries, and now it's kind of up to others involved in the situation to really take charge and run the show. You should kind of set your sights on a process of combination. So there are many things that you're going to need to kind of blend to really attain the success that you want, and the measures of each will be the most important. So Aries, are you sure you have the right ingredients in the proper proportions? This will, Aries, be an experiment, so be prepared to kind of make many changes along the way, and try not to lose sight of the reason by which you started, okay? And I feel that the resources that you can kind of draw upon, Aries, include your ability to kind of combine the best of all worlds, whether it is a heart and a mind, science and art, or one person's opinion and someone else's. You are able to, Aries, to blend apparent opposites into a set of satisfactory conclusion. So a true diplomat, Aries, you should kind of draw on your skill to kind of see the best and measure accordingly. Because I'm feeling that your own state in this matter is one of having to kind of toe the line between holding forth and holding back. So this may be creating tensions for you, so ensure that you have your eye firmly on the desired outcome and are not afraid to really keep trying different ways or really getting closer to really what you want, because I'm feeling that those around you kind of see you as the peacemaker with regards to this situation, or even the diplomat, or even perhaps the final say. So Aries, try to ensure that you are prepared to really weigh everyone's opinions fairly and combine the best ideas into one solution. Okay? Because the concerns that you have, which are not actual, are that you are not able to kind of hold everyone's opinions and values in your own life. And you may not feel you are living up to others' expectations, Aries. However, this card indicates that you are doing a better job than you may think, and continue as you are and ensure that others show more recognitions of your talents. Okay, let's move right along and look at your likely outcome. We have the Ace of Wands here. And Aries, this card is all about potential, you know, that which could be or really is about to be, and kind of new avenues of fulfillment, or, you know, promises that kind of come from out of the blue. It says it's the go ahead card. It's the wave the magic wand, you know, because its power truly belongs to you, Aries. So this card says, Aries, that you can certainly expect a happy union. And if you had problems in the past, tensions or misunderstandings are going to be resolved. And I see, Aries, that I see a potential marriage or a living arrangement is going to possibly be discussed. However, I feel that you've got to make or take the first step. And I feel that a new start, a way of life, is going to be realized, and you're going to be hoping that things are going to continue to pan out in the future. And a dynamism of this card has a positive effect on long-term love relationships, you guys. So you and your significant other will share a renewed vision, I feel, to your future. And together, Aries, you're going to create a more sensuous and romantic union. So with only a little effort, Aries, you're able to, I'm kind of seeing you rekindling the fire that once burned between you. And if you're single, or for you single Aries out there, you may even fall in love or become engaged or get married. You know, and if already married, you might decide that the time has come to either start a family or become committed, you know, or become a little bit more serious with your partner. And for those of you who have been estranged, this shows that you're going to rekindle your connection and try to move on to a more stable relationship. And Aries, there are always trajectories in every relationship's ups and downs. So don't think that everything is always going to always be smooth sailing, because it's not. Taking the time to really sit down and have honest discussion, you know, would also prove helpful for you guys. So I'm feeling that this event is likely to take place within a week, or certainly within strongly during this Taurus period, okay? So Aries, this is what I have for you this evening, and as indicated from the onset, this reading is good into the end of this month. I certainly hope this reading resonated with you guys, and I'd like to, prior to ending this reading, go on and give you some parting advice. After having added up all of the numbers up here, your numerical thing here is the Hermit card here. So actually, that's the quintessence. So his advice really to you, as I pretty much have been telling you throughout this whole reading, is to really retract and to kind of take a look inside, to kind of see what you really want, and to really realize, Aries, what is truly right and important for you. You know, because you should not take action before that is done. And I also wanted to give you some general, some more information about your reading in terms of the prevailing numbers that you have here. All of your numbers appear to be middle numbers, so this suggests that your situation is already established or ongoing, and your situation is in a midway stage. You still have a little ways to go, but I think it's almost near its conclusion. So Aries, for those of you who have yet to subscribe, please feel free and take some moments to subscribe now. And for those of you interested in having a more personal reading, please contact me at WAT61073@gmail.com. Enjoy your day.